And in the front row, the yellow number 20, that's the V6 of Johnny Parsons. Alongside is the Bob Consani-owned Pioneer Concrete number 1 of Jimmy Sills. And in the second row, on the inside, there's the guy who has won the only 2 outings in these cars this season, the M&L Plumbing beast of Jeff Gordon, and Stan Fox alongside. That's the Jack Tool Reynolds number 9. Wally Pankratz comes in from California. He'll start inside row 3 from Greenfield, Indiana. Eric Gordon outside in 81. In the fourth row, on the inside, there's your winner from 1 year ago, George Snyder, and outside, a former midget champion, Russ Gamester in 85. In the fifth row on the inside, Chuck Gurney in 29, a former Silver Crown champion, and Gene Lee Gibson in the Aristocrat number 8. In the sixth row, Steve Chassie in car number 69 outside, the youngster from nearby Brownsburg, Indiana, Robbie Stanley in 74. In the seventh row, on the inside, Andy Hillenberg in car number 12, and outside, a 3-time USAC Sprint Car champion, Larry Dixon in number 73. In the eighth row, Jim Keeker, the winner of the semi. These are all drivers that transferred from the semi. And a 4-time USAC Sprint Car champion, former Silver Crown winner, Steve Butler in number 10. In the ninth row, we have Bob Ciccone in number 59 and Gary Heber in 6. In the 10th row, on the inside, Greg Staub in number 44 and Trey House, the youngster from nearby Chesterton, in number 31. In the 11th row, Tony Elliott in number 18, Mike Fedorchak, the veteran from Fort Wayne, Indiana, making his first ever Silver Crown start in number 92. Then it's Jerry Niemeyer in 98 and Brad Marvel in 90, comprising row 12. 24 cars, 100 laps. The yellow will count once again. This is a race of patience. That may sound a little disconcerting to a race fan, but you have to use patience here.
Sometimes you do have to use a lot of patience, especially in a race like this. You don't want to get anxious. You don't want to burn the tires up too early. The guys who go out there and try to really go fast and pass 10 or 12 cars in the first 5 laps are going to find themselves sorely in need of that fresh tire come 20 or 25 laps into the race.
Johnny Parsons, the Nibel built chassis with a V6 power plant, he has a weight advantage. Do you think perhaps you'll let somebody else lead the race?
Yeah, I don't know. He probably will. I think John's going to be very patient. Here goes the start. Sills jump right out of the
Sills gets the lead. There's Stan Fox in the other red number 9, and he's in 4th position. Gordon rides in 3rd. Down the backstretch, it's Sills leading in a Coyle car. That's a Coyle beast that set a track record in his debut ride in the Copper Classic back in Phoenix in February. He leads. Johnny Parsons, Nibel-built V6, rides in 2nd. Jeff Gordon now is 3rd. And 4th is Stan Fox. No, Stan is now riding in 5th position.
That's Wally Pankratz running 4th, Gary. He jumped into 4th position on the very start. Look at everybody. They're using a little patience. They're just following each other. They're not getting in any real big hurry. They want to make sure they've got the race car nice and smooth. Look at this in-car camera shot. Look at everybody. That nice long file. Looks like a NASCAR race. Everybody right in line, going right down the straightaway.
Well, as we look at the groove, and he kind of straddles that white line going through turn number 1, and then slides up a little and off the corner and down the backstretch.
Well, when he runs a racetrack like that, he's having a little bit of a pushing problem, which is probably good at this point in the race. You want the race car to be pushing at this point in the race because all that fuel is behind you. If it's not pushing now, later on, it's going to be very, very loose.
Well, as we look back behind him now, there is Russ Gamester in car number 85. Russ Gamester, a former USAC National Midget Champion, making a very rare appearance in the Silver Crown cars. Doesn't have a lot of experience in these cars.
Right, you saw that left front on his car lift up just a little bit as he turned the wheel. And with all that weight behind you, it's very easy to lift that left front off the ground if you're not watching him, not running very straight.
Look who's up to 2nd position. Jeff Gordon goes to 2nd, and Johnny Parsons now being battled for 3rd position. So JP may be very content to let somebody else set the pace early. We are back live at Indianapolis Raceway Park. A pack right there as we continue the Pepsi-Cola 100 as Jeff Gordon in that white number 4 now finds himself in heavy traffic.
He sure does. That's Trey House in that 3-in-1 car on the outside, the yellow car on the outside. Tony Elliott right in front of him on the left. He's boxed in. There's no place to go. Here Tony Elliott moves down. He's going to give him room to go through there. Very nice gesture by Tony Elliott. He didn't have to move down that far to give Jeff room, but Jeff couldn't take advantage of it, it looked like.
The move-over flag was displayed, the courtesy flag, so those drivers know that one of the leaders is right there, and indeed, Jeff is having trouble getting through.
Well, he wants to make sure when he goes around him, he doesn't use the tire up. He wants to get around him as quickly as he can without doing anything silly. So he's having to follow Tony Elliott and Trey House while they're running
look at
side by side.
Parsons has used this traffic to his advantage. He closes in. He takes a look to the inside. We're going to have a pass for the lead. Can he do it?
I think he can. That lighter car has its advantage in the traffic like this. He can run in places.
Contact between Trey House and Gordon, and there's Parsons almost getting into it.
Parsons almost hit Gordon that time. That's real close. He's won that lead awfully bad for this early in the race. I didn't think he'd charge that hard, but man, he wants that lead bad.
Well, obviously, young Jeff was boxed in. The wily veteran Parsons to it. He took advantage, and now he has the lead. Dropping Gordon to second. He pulls up behind and goes to the inside of Elliott. Can't make the pass, though, going into 3.
You know, these cars are very equal. Even these guys are getting lapped. They're running very quick. You know, they're running 120, 130 miles an hour around here, so the guys that are leading have to take a chance. They have to do something silly. A little slide job like Parsons did right up in front of him, takes the groove away.
Keep in mind now, although the courtesy flag was displayed, the move over flag, these guys are racing in their own pack for position. They don't want to back out and let somebody else go by. A good battle for position right here with Pancratz and Russ Gamester, and Gamester is having an excellent ride this evening.
I think Pancratz is having the problem we talked about earlier. He didn't have enough push in the car, so now the car is loose. The longer the race goes, the looser the car gets. He keeps going backwards and backwards and backwards. It felt real comfortable at first. He was passing cars, but the longer it goes, the worse that loose condition is going to get, and the slower he's going to have to go.
Looks like Robbie Stanley, number 74, has pulled the dirt car off the pavement, and he is up the competition. It's very difficult to say a dirt car. That's what we've called these cars for so many years, but they're so competitive on the paint track.
They certainly are. Jeff Gordon seems to be having an awful lot of trouble back there. Because we see Parsons, he's out in front. He's riding high right now. He's doing good and just smiling and styling there going out front. But this is a great battle right here. I've been watching this off camera. Chuck Gurney in that 29 car, Jimmy Keeker in that 3 car. The 29 car is the car that Kenny Schrader has had so much success here. That car has won 2 races here, very successful. Chuck Gurney's a very good race car driver, but Jim Keeker has snuck up on him and is working on him real hard trying to get around. But he's not quite as close now as he was a couple of laps ago.
Parsons in car number 20 going by Andy Hillenberg in the Holt Delrose number 12, the First National Bank of Terre Haute special, and pulls up behind the aristocrat car of Gene Lee Gibson. Right now, it appears that Johnny, if you want to use an old Scott expression, is in the catbird seat. He has a very light race car because of the V6 and the weight advantage, and he's out in front. Right now, he can go without abusing that right rear.
Obviously, he and his mechanic, Glenn Nibel, have got that race car set up very well. I ran that race car last year to race up in Milwaukee. I went third to last place before coming clear back up to 4th. John was content to fall back to 2nd place, 3rd place, and not abuse his tire. But then when he had his chance, he went up. We're looking at a lap time now. That's John up there on the corner of your screen. We're going to get a lap time on him, see how quick he's actually running. But I think he's running pretty quick right now, 21, 22, 22.6.
That's a very good lap for this point in the race.
Hey, we're almost halfway through. Lap 48, he's running 22.6. They only qualified in the low 21, so that's very fast for this point in the race, believe me.
Well, Robbie Stanley, we have seen him win here on ESPN, and he is standing by now out of the race with Dave Spain.
Hey, this race has not been kind to Saturday Night Thunder winners. Saccone's out, Sills is out, now Robbie Stanley. Robbie, what happened?
Well, we lost our power steering at about the 5th lap, and I thought, man, I'll hang with her all the way. There was no way I could hang with her anymore. I was kind of getting the guys away. I saw the leaders come up. As soon as I saw the leaders go by, I said, that's enough. Let them guys race.
Can you describe to me what it's like to try to drive one of those things without the power steering?
Nope. You can't do it. On dirt, sometimes you can get away with it, but there's so much tire, so much bite with these tires, and these long corners in IRP are in them so long, that right front tire is buried to the ground so hard, so not much sense trying.
Robbie Stanley, wisdom is the better part of valor. He's out of it for tonight. Back to the booth.
Well, as we talk about Parsons and his ride, the 2 Gordons have swapped positions, and I mean that at the halfway point, that is Eric Gordon now at the 2nd. Jeff Gordon drops to 3rd. Eric in the white 81.
Well, I think, Gary, we're seeing exactly what we talked about. If you don't have your car set up right for the first of the race, it's not going to be as quick as the last of the race. We've seen Wally Pancratz first start out very quickly, go forward, and then go straight backwards after the race car got loose on him. And I think Jeff Gordon is experiencing the same problem. I think they missed the setup slightly, had the race car very quick at the beginning, but as the fuel went away and the back end lightened up, as that got lighter back there, it started getting loose, and he's just going backwards slightly, slowly, but surely as the race goes along.
Well, let's see if we can pick up perhaps a lap time on Jeff Gordon to indicate if there is perhaps a problem with the tire or the engine, just the general chassis setup, because he went from that almost 4-second lead, lost it in traffic. Now he's back to third.
He's still running that race car so smooth that you can't tell whether it's loose or not. But I think
see some smoke? Did I see some smoke right there?
Yeah. He is a little loose. There might be some smoke that might be getting on the right rear tire that might be causing it to get a little loose. But he doesn't have much straightaway speed either. You see, who's that? Gary Heber behind him.
6 car.
Really gained a couple car lengths on him. He could have lost his brakes. That might be the reason he's going into the corner so easily.
Well, let's draw a comparison now. About a second slower than what Johnny Parsons is running out in the lead. So obviously there is a problem with that number 4 car, the ML Plumbing beast of Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, he's running that thing as absolutely straight as he can under the conditions, but the conditions aren't going to allow him to go any faster than he's going right now. I think that red car that's sneaking up on him right there could be Russ Gamester, is it not?
That is Russ Gamester in car number 85. Jeff has to be a tired pup. It was hot and humid up at Watkins Glen today. He wrestled a 3,000-pound stock car over that road course, flew in here. He has to be tired, and now obviously he has a car that is perhaps not handling. Let's take a look now at the top 5 as we are going to go to another break as the race continues here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Johnny Parsons is out in front with the youngster Eric Gordon is second. Then it's Jeff, Russ Gamester, Jim Keeker, 56 to 100 laps.
Than it was before. Look how far, look at the right front. Look how far he's turning. He's keep turning, just to get a turn. Yeah, he's got a real bad push. We can watch him down into this next corner. Watch him go in there. He goes in low, he drifts up, he keeps turning, but he keeps heading for the fence. Look at him. He's really got that right front crank around. He finally gets the load down towards the bottom, but it's pushing pretty bad right at this point in the race.
That means it's a real workout for the driver in the cockpit when that chassis not working.
As I said before, the guys up front are working easier than the guys in the back. Well, the guys in the back are always working the hardest, although Gurney's in 6th position. He's not in the back.
We talked to drivers this point in the race. Right now, Johnny Parsons would appear to be the guy that's going to win this thing. He is hearing every noise that race car is making, probably right now talking to the race car.
Well, with his luck, he's got to be imagining all sorts of things. He knows that he's been close to the end before and had problems, and he thinks it might happen to him again. But he's going to run the race car as straight as he can. We see Eric Gordon. He's running that thing hard. He's got her sideways, and here comes Keeker. Everybody's going for the downs now. They can't afford to wait anymore. Only 6 laps to go.
5 laps, actually, to go right now as Parsons was given the 5-lap signal from our starter, Wally Shear. So Parsons now about a turn advantage as we take a look at the number 3 car is number 3 in the lead serial. That is Jimmy Keeker. There's the gap from first back to second. About a half straightaway advantage now for Johnny Parsons. This is what he needs. He really needs this.
He certainly does. He's really wanting this race car just to last. He's got it pretty well handled if it'll finish the race. Eric Gordon, I know, has worked his heart out here tonight. He's run really quick, but again, I think he's going to come home as bridesmaid instead of the bride.
Well, the other car down the inside is Mike Pogorchek as we go along for the ride, and you can see from the cockpit, he can look ahead and he can see Johnny Parsons, and he knows that Johnny is leading this race. But right now, it looks like he's going to have to settle for second. And we look back, and you really can't even see Jim Keeker back there riding in 3rd position.
I think even a person like Eric Gordon at this point, he knows there's no chance with that many laps to go. He's going to save the car, salvage second, hope that something goes wrong with John, because that's the only chance he has at this point.
And he's probably very aware of Johnny's luck.
Here we see Pancratz and Russ Gamester with 2 laps to go. Gamester's working on him pretty hard. Pancratz has been having a little trouble with that race car. Got loose early, but it looks like he speeded up. Here's the white flag.
There was the white flag for Parsons as we watch that battle for 5th position as they go by a slower car right now.
Yeah, that looked like Mike Fedorchak, and here comes Parsons around. He's only got 1 more corner to go. He's got things. He's even smiling.
And look at the fans standing up down here. The fans are standing ovations as Johnny Parsons takes the victory. Dual checkered flags. He salutes the fans as Eric Gordon will take 2nd position. And this is a very, very popular victory here at Indianapolis Raceway Park for Johnny Parsons.
You can't be much happier for a guy than we are for John Parsons. I got to tell you, this guy has led so many races, run so well, and had so many doggone things go wrong with race cars this year. Nobody deserves it. I got a lot of friends out there, but nobody deserves it more than that man right there.
Well, as many times as he has been out in front to have something mechanically go wrong to put him on the sideline, I'd tell you a very popular victory, and they're still standing up applauding as he takes a victory lap. He may take 2 or 3 victory laps out there before he pulls that V6 in. He has plenty of fuel left. as the victory lane is now forming down here on the front straightaway. All the other cars are going to be in there, and John's still out there circulating. So Johnny Parsons from nearby Brownsburg, Indiana, takes the victory here as we take a look from the in car. From second place, Eric Gordon. We're coming back to talk to Johnny Parsons.